All right, welcome back to season 2 of our show. We got an interesting one for you today. It's beef bones and pig trotters. We're going to show you how to get these all seasoned up and out onto the cooker. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our beef ribs trimmed up. These are beautiful beef ribs. I just want you to see the thickness on there. This is a special cut. My butcher cut these. Usually you find these ribs. These are short ribs, the high end, and you usually find these ribs about that much meat on them. But today we have that much meat on them. So basically it's about a 4-inch rib cut, custom cut. And over here we got some silver skin and some fat. Let's start removing that. So we're just gonna cut off all the silver skin. Now we're gonna cook these at about 285, and we're gonna render all this down, so don't go crazy. Too crazy on this. And I just like to get all that silver skin out of there. And as you start to cut this down, you'll see all that silver skin right up underneath there. But take your time, don't be impatient, and you won't lose any meat. And just bring it back, just like that. Just gets better with time as you do it. And just make sure you get all that silver skin out of there. Again, I'm gonna come underneath, like that. Start here, end it, and then come back. And just use the tip of your knife to work it through. It's tedious, but I promise you, it'll be well worth it. Again, just come up under here. Just take your time. Look at all this. See all that? Just, you can almost pull that up like that. Just take your knife and just start cutting it. And you can see that thick silver skin right there. I'm going to start from up here because that's where it starts. And go that way. Spin this tray around. And then come back this way. All right. Definitely pays to be ambidextrous with the meats on the trimming. It'll save you some time. All right. There we go. Cut it right out. And just feel your way around. Now I got a huge piece of silver skin right here. So what I'll do is just start from the top. Go up and just work my way back down without putting an indent in the meat. I show this in a few of my videos, how to get this done, but every piece of meat's different. So look at that. That went deep. But I had to, because it runs deep. This is why when I'm buying beef bones like this, I like to get them thick. Because by the time you trim away, you've got no meat left. So spend the extra money and buy them thick. It'll definitely be well worth it. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna get the cutting on this meat, and I'll meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we have our meat all nice and trimmed up. Our bones are ready to go on the cooker, and we're gonna show you how to season this. So we're using salt, pepper, and a blend of just paprika and onion powder. That's it. Just gonna start with the rub. Now before we do the rub, just a little vinegar onto the skin. It's gonna open up the pores and make sure just everything is clean. Now they're washed, dried, and we're just going to make sure no bacterias are hanging around the meats. Let's do that to the front, get into the back, and afterwards you can just discard this, but we're going to use it on our pork afterwards too. Then we're going to use it on the beef first before we hit the pork. This way, if you have people over that don't eat pork, they don't get hit with that. All right, so here's your vinegar. You can use lemon too, works just as good. But today we're using vinegar. All right, so we got our vinegar on there. Not too much. Just a little wetness. We're going in with a rub. And you want to be able to taste your meat. Like I said, this is just paprika, onion powder. There's no salt in here. We're going to put the salt on after, just so I don't over salt it. I might want more rub on here than salt. Like that. I'm going a little heavy with the rub, but I want more rub than salt. And you don't have to do the back because you're not eating the bones. But leave that membrane on because that's what's going to hold this together. A lot of people take it off. Don't do that. Especially with a beef rib, you'll lose all your moisture and it's just going to come out not so hot. All right, so we got that. We're going to go in with our pepper. I'm using a coarse pepper. It's a number 30. I'm going to use a bunch of it. And I'm going to go easy with the salt. Because if you go hard with the salt, salt has the tendency to dry out your meat. And definitely don't do it overnight. Especially on beef ribs. It'll suck the moisture out and you won't be happy with that rib. All right, now we got that. And we're going in with a little oil. That's just plain canola oil. Rub it in. Get it in there good. It's gonna set the color and get that nice bark on there. And like I said, just the front, that's all you need. And let's do this one. And there we have it. All right. I'm just going to rub this in. We'll get this off to the side and we'll show you how to get our trotters done. So these are our pig trotters, in other words, pig feet. They're split, so they're not whole feet. Usually when you catch these guys, they're usually put together like that. And it's a whole hoof and they split them, so they'll cook better. So this is how I like to buy mine. I like to buy them split like that. So what you're going to need for this is some vinegar. Definitely some vinegar, always on the pork. Now I wash these. What I like to do is just give them a little bath like that. I washed them, cleaned them real good, especially the feet. You want to make sure there's no hairs or anything on them. And these are such a good delicacy, especially smoked. Very underrated. A lot of people don't smoke these. They take a while, but they're really, really good. So we're going to show you how to get these done. Now we're going Asian style on this today, and I'm using a 5-spice on here, my own blend of 5-spice. It's got anise, fennel seed, clove, cinnamon, and white pepper. All right, just like that, both sides. Get them nice and vinegared up. Let me just turn these over like this. There we go. And you don't need much. Just a sprinkle. This is probably like a 1/4 cup in here. And just flip them back over. The nice part about having them split like this, you could see which side you're seasoning. And you always want to get your pig feet fresh. Try not to get them frozen. Always fresh, never frozen. That's all your foods. All right, so we got that. Now I'm gonna line these up as best as I can. And now we're gonna start with our seasoning. Now I ground this seasoning myself. If you guys want, you can buy it in the store. They call it 5-spice seasoning. It's very expensive. So I'd rather just grind my own and have my ingredients. All right, here we go. This is my dry hand. So I got one wet, one dry. And this goes a long way. So be careful with it. It's very, very powerful, especially the way I make mine. Fennel's very strong, so you can smell the fennel. And there's cinnamon in here too, so you don't want it too sweet. All right, so what we're gonna do is get these dusted real good. And then what we're gonna do is just oil them and let the oil flavor them in. Here we go. Here's oil. This is just plain canola oil. And I'm gonna start brushing them in with the oil. Kind of just mix them around. Get them mixed in. Just kind of get some on all of them. Just like that. Mix them in. All right, so I'm gonna get these mixed in, seasoned up, and we're gonna meet you out onto the cooker. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, this is what we're rolling with today. This is a gravity-fed custom cooker. Let's show you around. Starting with the inside, I have 3 knife shelves. These all pull out. This shelf here is for hanging meat, so I can hang meats from that shelf right there, different hooks hanging down, so I can pull these shelves out of here and hang them. These are our vents up at the top. This is for exhaust. I can adjust my exhaust back and forth. And to the back of this is where I place my charcoal in the top. And this opening right here, I fill this up. The charcoal drops down and it goes into that firebox down at the bottom. And that's where she lights. These are more fine adjustments over to my right. I can fine adjust there. And more temperature gauges pretty much all around here and on the other side. All right, we're gonna get this thing fired up and we'll meet you back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Time to get our ribs on. All right. Our temperature is up to level. Just get these on the middle rack. Maybe one on the top rack. Cook uneven? I don't know. I'll change them around. We're going to put our trotters on the bottom and onto our cooker they go to. We'll just put them just like that. And we'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. So this is the 8-hour cook, somewhere around there. 8.5, 9 hours. Put this on at 5 a.m. We're ready to check it. Let's see what we got. Look at those. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna let them go some more. Now you see I got those dripping right down into those pig feet. I changed the pig feet. I put them in aluminum foil. There it is. All right. We're gonna close up, stabilize, and away we go. We probably got another hour and a half, 2 hours left. We'll see you then. All right, looks like it's time to come off. And we're just gonna probe them. Now, how I probe these, I just go in, take a fork like this, and they're nice and tender. So I can probe them, and they're nice and tender. I got no resistance. And that's how you want them. All right. I'm gonna get my tray, pull them off. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so our beef bones are done. Our pig feet are almost done. We just got one more step to them. We're gonna throw a little glaze over them. So this is a bourbon honey glaze. We did a video with this in there. And what I did was I make a bunch of it, and I'll either freeze it and pull it out, or I'll just leave it in the fridge so I can put it back on. But it's got a nice consistency to it, and it's gonna cook right down into the meat. So here's our glaze. I'm just gonna go in just like that with it. If you see how thick it is, when it gets refrigerated, that's what you want, because you don't want it just to run down the meat. You want it to stay on there. And when the heat hits it, it's going to turn back into that nice glazy consistency. Just want a little bit just to bring out the flavor of the meat. You don't want to drown it in sauce, because it is a sauce, as you'll see when it heats up. And just get it on there. We're going to go back into the smoker with this. I'm going to jack the heat up to about 350. And they're only going to be in there for about 20 minutes at 350. And that's it. But the skin on these pig trotters is just like butter. If you ever had pig wings, it's very similar. All right, almost done here. Just like that. We're gonna wrap it up. Back onto the cooker it goes. And we'll meet you back here when we pull this on the chopping block. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, that was a long haul. Here we are again on season 2 chopping block. Let's see what we got. So in here we have our beef bones, and I think I'm gonna choose our big bone today. Look at that. Look at the size of those bones. So we're just gonna go in and cut into these. All right, get down to that membrane, you can hear it. And let's just slice through that bone. Right to that membrane. And there we go. All right, check that out. Look at that beautiful rib. And of course, we're gonna get a Pitmaster taste on that. But I think I'm gonna plate up with that one and get the Pitmaster taste on our smaller one. So let's go cut into here. And come straight through. Look at that. Beautiful. They're all beautiful. So I don't know where to go with this. So I think I'm gonna just get a Pitmaster taste from the smaller one. I'm just gonna slice it right off the bone. Look at that, just falls right off. Beautiful smoke ring. That cooker does good. She's a fabulous one. I'm gonna go right in the middle with this. Right down. Juicy. Look at that. This is why you want to get your meat that big like that. Look at that. I'm just going to pull it apart. And let's get a bite. Wow. That's good. All right. Let's show you what this looks like on a plate. We got our plate here. But we got one more thing to show you guys. That needs no cutting. That's our pig trotters. There we go. I'm just gonna take the foil off of those and show you what these look like. Now, most people will try to boil these and then they'll put them on to the cooker, but this is the traditional way how to do it. If you boil them, you're gonna lose all your flavor and you're just gonna lose everything in the trotter. So here it is. We're gonna pick them up. I'm gonna put this onto the board. We'll just show you how tender this is. So look at this. Here we go. We're just gonna cut it right down. So it's actually got the same tenderness as a ham hock. Just nice and tender. Let's cut that. This way you can get into that meat. And let's give that a little Pitmaster try. Look at that. Wow. It's sweet, sticky. That barbecue sauce on there just goes excellent. There's nothing like a barbecue pig trotter. So if you guys have never tried those before, please, I invite you to give those a try because you will be quite surprised. Bringing back old school here. All right, let's get this plated up. So what we'll do is I'm gonna choose a beautiful one here. I'm gonna choose this one to plate up with. Put it off to the side like that. There we go. We're going to choose a pig trotter to go along with it. Get a couple of those pig trotters right onto the plate. I mean, how do you go wrong with those guys? Rich, juicy, barbecue. All right, we got a beautiful shrimp salad. It's cold, ice cold, for a nice summertime meal. And we're gonna plate this up, onto the plate with it. And that's it, simple, easy. Summertime meal. Little surf and turf with a couple of pork trotters on there. There it is right there. Southern BBQ at its finest. Put a couple of crackers with that. Onto the plate. There it is. Now I think I'll put another little trotter in the middle of there. You never have too many pig trotters there. Let's just drop that in there. All right. We're gonna get plated up. Meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, there it is. Southern smoked pig trotters with southern smoked beef bones and a beautiful shrimp salad, tomato and basil. If you like this video or more videos are about to come, please hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell, this way you get the notifications first. And please don't forget to check out our new channel, Side Dishes and More. You'll get the chance to see that beautiful shrimp salad. Thank you. We enjoyed you coming. And without further ado, I gotta get that little Pitmaster taste there.